I'd like to talk with you for a few minutes about some of the adaptations that have been made in recent years to the recovery method that Marilyn and Phyllis have described that indeed had its genesis here at UIC. About 9 years ago, Phyllis and Marilyn actually began work on a program called The Power to Change. And it was a simplified version of the recovery model. And it was designed originally to be used with people in the criminal justice system. And we started out with people on probation, that type of thing, and then realized that maybe the thing to do was to try to get this program to younger people. And so we approached the Chicago Public Schools to see if they might have an interest in having the program in some of their schools. At that time, this was a program of the Abraham Lowe Institute, and the Institute received approximately $500,000 over 5 years from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation to introduce the Power to Change into the Chicago Public Schools. We started out about 5 or 6 years ago with 3 small groups, and this year we have over 70 groups in 47 Chicago Public Schools. It's a program which has grown in demand every year, and we actually have had third-party studies done of the Power to Change in the Chicago Public Schools. They were done for 2 consecutive school years, and each year the results showed statistically significant improvement in self-restraint, feeling identification, conflict resolution, and a reduction in violent activity. So we know that the Power to Change works. It does indeed change young people's lives. And this is, as I say, a program that grew out of the recovery method, but now is sort of a standalone program under the aegis of the Abraham Lowe Self-Help Systems. We've also very recently simplified the original Recovery Incorporated or Recovery International program and developed a program called RI Discovery. And it's really just as I say, a simplified version of the original method, perhaps more contemporary language, shorter in format. And we have been utilizing these programs since the first of the year and already have 33 RI Discovery groups up and running. So we have no intention of discontinuing the traditional RI groups. They have for over 70 years, as you have heard, served the needs of people who have used them. And we plan to offer both RI and RI Discovery and essentially give the consumer a choice as to which program best serves their needs. We have also, in an attempt to kind of grow the program and reach out to new audiences, these, as the meetings that were described to you by Phyllis and Marilyn, have always been face-to-face meetings of small groups. We now have developed telephone meetings where we hold RI and RI Discovery groups on the phone. And some of those meetings are actually specific to specific issues, like there's an overeaters meeting. There's a meeting for physically disabled. So some of them are geared to specific populations. But this really reaches a group of people who either don't drive, don't go out at night, are disabled, for whatever reason, can't get to a face-to-face meeting. And their popularity has really been striking. They have grown very quickly in terms of the number of people who choose that means of delivery. At the beginning of this year, we actually have hired a part-time person to help us develop online meetings. We know that for a whole new generation, many of you here in this audience, that's your world. And we want to be able to deliver this method through that mechanism. And so we now have 4 online meetings up and running. We have a chat room online, which serves many of the same purposes, but it's not actually a structured meeting. So we're very excited about this. One of the things we want to try to do is to reach 18 to 31-year-olds. This is a program that, because it's been around so long, a large number of the people involved in it are older, and our concern is, without reaching out to a younger population, that ultimately the program would go away. So we are trying to, as I say, develop new means of delivery, and we're also targeting specific populations to deliver the program to. You heard about schools, young people, corrections. We're also have started and just hired a veteran part-time to develop an outreach to veterans. We know that so many young people serving in the military are coming back with serious emotional issues, and this is something which is amazingly portable. I mean, recovery could be actually deployed with the forces when they go to foreign battlefields, and something that can be used on a daily basis, not only when they sustain injury and after they return home. We also are looking at things like EAPs as a possible source for where this method could be useful. Again, our vision is to have it available to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Having sort of laid out that overview, I want to now turn the program over to someone many of you probably already know, Dr. Sue Pickett, who has been doing an evaluation of the RI method. One of the things that we have really, and it's hard to believe in 73 years, but we really have never had an evidence base for what we know happens with people who avail themselves of this method. Sue?